Rated F for fucking awesome. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, TimothyTim PSP, and happy to show you my take on Sony's original Darth Vader PSP. Starting out with the custom case here that I did a matte clear coat on, protecting the decal and bonding that to the PSP case, as long with the white wrist strap to kind of go along with the white and black theme that Sony liked with their custom Darth Vader edition PSP. But this isn't just any PSP. Like my others, it's got a bunch of custom software. It's loaded with 64 gigs, and I can't wait to give you a tour. Another special thing about this PSP is I'm making my return back to eBay. That's right, going back to eBay and giving everyone who sent me emails and stuff a chance at a PSP, which normally wouldn't get one. Normally you'd have to wait in line, so everyone gets a chance to buy this bad boy. One of the first things you'll see here is this hard protective case. It's easy to take off. If you look right here, there are these little straps or divots. You go ahead and peel that up, and the whole thing is hinged, so you can take this off the PSP. If you order one of these hard cases yourself, you will notice that it's something nice they do in the factory. It'll come pre-scratched. Isn't that nice? Pre-scratched on the screen there, but don't worry. I fully restored this thing, and there we go. The PSP screen itself underneath is in very nice condition. And before I turn the lights out, I'll go ahead and take this thing out so that you can get a good look of what it looks like even under this hard case. Like I said, 64 gigs of software. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega CD, Game Boy Advance, everything you could want in a PSP. And it's finally going to be available on eBay again. I've got some people ask me, why don't you do eBay anymore? Well, you know, when I get emails and stuff, I try to fulfill them. But just given the fact that this is the holidays, I get more emails than normal. So, yeah, I went with the black buttons on this one in the black UMD ring. That's not painted. That's an actual black UMD ring. And I refinished the battery cover. A lot of times with Darth Vader PSPs, a problem is the battery cover will start to chip, and some of the Vader on the back will start to chip off, and it's really sad. So I refinished the back, and should help it kind of stand the test of time, especially if you're using this hard case. And that's a reason why I included this, for a way for you just to really protect the PSP, because they don't make them like they used to. As with all my PSPs, this one comes with a screen protector. Go ahead and put that on yourself. If you've watched any of my other videos, you may have noticed that I suck at putting on screen protectors. I can never get out all the bubbles. I might have skills, but that's not one of them. So, all right, let me pause the video, and I'll take the PSP out of this hard case so you can get just a really good look at a naked Darth Vader. Yeah, I said it. All right, so here we go. Here's the plastic shell taken off. set that over here. Yeah, that's good. And then here's the PSP. Like I said, brand new faceplate on here. Everything looking good. No scratches on the screen. These are brand new buttons. New analog stick. You can kind of see, yeah, you can see the kind of shine of the analog stick. And check out that battery cover, refinished. I'm trying to catch the light off of it. Refinished, not scratched. The brand new black ring, and no scratches over here on the right side. Just really happy with this one. And I gotta say, adding the black buttons and the black ring on the back really gave this PSP, I think it just kind of pushed it to the spot it needed to be, rather than the boring white PSP with the Vader battery cover that Sony did to us in the past. So what am I going to do? I'm going to turn the lights down. I'm going to let you take a tour of the PSP and show you the games that are on it. This is all loaded up by me. Games I felt should be on here. This is my custom games list. Look at that. Look, it looks nice, right? I feel like it looks nice. Oh, and before I turn the lights out, just like all my PSPs, it comes with a standard USB and data exchange, what am I trying to say here? USB cable, so that you can add and remove games if you want to do that in the future. And also, I'm including some component cables. Component cables work by plugging it in right through here, and that will allow you to play all these games in HD on your big TV. And it's really a cool little all-in-one gaming console. Of course, you see why I love the PSP so much and put so much work into them. Good God, I've spent a lot of time. So anyways, let me turn the lights down and let you guys get a look at the game menu and all the games and just everything this PSP has to offer. All right. All right, and here we go. Starting out here with the custom Darth Vader menu here, where you can see Lord Vader himself in the background. Let's see, maybe we can do a little bit of a zoom in here. If I get too close, we get that pesky camera distortion. So everything's split up into the normal subfolder, starting out with old school. Here, I've got the brightness hack on here right now, which makes the PSP a little brighter. The lowest setting works great for the camera. Famicom disk system. Nintendo World Championships, Game Boy. Game Boy Color. These are full ROM sets, except for Nintendo 64. That's not a full set. Game Boy Advance. And the Advanced SP. Same system. Nintendo 64, like I said, not every game on here. Just because, well, it doesn't work all that good. Game Gear, Sega CD, all these game systems. And the great things about the older game systems, like the Atari, is that they don't take up a lot of space. So even though you don't play them a lot, it's nice to have on there. And with 64 gigs worth of games, you're definitely not going to run out of stuff to play. The Intellivision, my first gaming system. ColecoVision, my first computer. I actually had the 64 128, and here's the lovely Vectrex for the PSP, the lovely Magnavox Odyssey. Every game on there. And check, did you notice the menu? Look how that blends. Oh, one more time. Check out the blending of the background and the icon. I worked hard on that. I really did. I'm still happy with how it came out, but sometimes I laugh at how much I focus on one little. Oh yeah, Juke. Bandai's Wonder Swan. Yeah, do you mess with my Dragon Balls? Don't you mess, don't you mess, don't you mess. Oh, please don't mess and please don't touch and handle my Dragon Balls. Balls. The Dragon Ball game is on there, in case you're curious. Oh, shit. Back to the arcade. That's right, Doc. Take her up to 88 miles per hour, and I'll try not to make out with my own mother. All the classics, Pac-Man and Galaga, Donkey Kong. Check out the arcade room with full MAME arcade emulation. Not all the games are on there. I shouldn't say all. But there's a fuck ton of games. And then if you can't find it in MAME, you're going to find it in one of the other retro systems adapted to cartridge. But let's talk about SNK's Neo Geo arcade emulation. You got two samurais and they want to have a showdown? They might want to do it on the Neo Geo. Test your might. And test your might and choose your destiny. Excellent. It's a bunch of midway classics like Robotron and stuff, but let's be honest, you're gonna play one of three games: Mortal Kombat 1, 2, or 3. And here's Capcom Play System. What's Capcom Play? What's CPS 1, Tim? With your video game nerd talk. Well, Capcom Play System is a series of arcade games that were put out. So you played Street Fighter 2, games like that Capcom put out. They put those out under the kind of umbrella of the Capcom Play System. Obviously, they didn't call it 1 back in the day, but they did come out with the Capcom Play System 2. And this is where you get into more stuff like Street Fighter Alpha and some of the more advanced Capcom games. Not everything is advanced as Street Fighter Alpha 3 and its predecessors, but they did put out a lot of games under CPS 1 and CPS 2. So you get both those emulators here. Enjoy them. And at the bottom of the list, the last but not the leastest, a tribute to the angry video game nerd, James Rolfe. My hero. I don't know if you haven't checked in a while. He's currently putting out a lot of AVGN episodes. So if you've never seen Angry Video Game Nerd, I don't know how the hell you got here first without seeing him. I owe a lot to him as far as this whole retro video game resurgence. These are all the top 10 NES games that he absolutely hates. But don't worry, you can use the left and right rewind feature that you can use on all of my PSPs to ease the pain, but those games still suck. All right. Jumping down into the list. Old school hacks. What are old school hacks, you may ask? If you're not in the know, some nerds, much like myself, but better than myself, have hacked old Super Nintendo and Nintendo NES games and put together their own spin on them. And I have created a separate folder for just those games. This is a collection of Zelda hacks. Oh yeah, hold on here. Hold on, let me get this. I'm gonna get this up to the microphone. Sorry guys, you know I love this. I love Sonic Mega Mix, made by the Sonic team, the same guys that made Sonic Mania. Now Sonic Mania is my favorite Sonic game. It is, but before that came out, Sonic Mega Mix was, and it's definitely my number 2. It is a ROM hack of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's so much fun. You just have to play it. You just have to. And then here's another collection of Sonic ROM hacks. This is games like Sonic Mega Mix, but just all thrown into one handy dandy emulator. So go ahead and have your pick of that. And then here we go with Super Nintendo hacks. You want to play various multiple versions of Super Mario World where people made it insanely hard or sometimes insanely stupid? Well, have at it. And of course Mario Kart and all the other Super Nintendo titles that people felt needed its own sequel. All the Mega Man games as well as the Mega Man hacks. Enjoy this custom menu that I put together with a little sample of Nintendo Power. It's nice. And here's the Ghostbusters game that came out. Ghostbusters 2, which is the only good Ghostbusters game for the Nintendo Entertainment System for the PSP now. But first Nintendo Entertainment System, now on the PSP, emulated in the You can just play it. Just play it. It's a fun game. It's hard to explain. Ah, yes. Nintendo hacks. Of the collection of hacked games on here, I have to say that the NES hacks is the way to go. Playing games like Super Mario Bros. 3 Mix, I highly recommend Super Mario Bros. 3 Mix. I think it is just the best hack for Super Mario Brothers on the 8-bit Nintendo, and I've put in there like a top 10 of the best, because there's a couple hundred ROM hacks in there, not just of Super Mario Brothers, but there is a shit ton of Super Mario Brothers hacks. Check them out. And then Castlevania. Originally made this just for the custom green and black Castlevania PSP. You can find that on my channel. No, I'm not going to put a link in front of your face. You know how to go to my channel. I don't think you're going to just leave because I gave you a link. I hope not. I hope you think for yourself. And that's it. That's ROM hacks. And then we're going to jump down here to PlayStation 1 games. Now, this is a collection of games that I put on here because I felt they needed to be, and that they're fun, and I think that they transfer to being portable well. Some games like RPGs and stuff are on here, but as far as like some quick arcade fun, games like Hydro Thunder, you cannot go wrong. Let's see, we're going with Crash Bandicoot 2. Here's X-Men. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, in my opinion, it's when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater hit its peak. You got stuff like sketching and create your own park, and it even does a tribute to some of the levels in the first Tony Hawk games. With Part 4, I feel like you get it all. It's Tenchu, Stealth Assassins. Man, I played this on the PlayStation quite a bit. So I recommend playing that. Got to have some fighting games on the Darth Vader PSP. Tekken. Star Wars Dark Forces. So we definitely have a good collection of Star Wars games and just kind of dark games like Medieval, King of Fighters. We've got Final Doom on here. Really fun game. We got to have Duke Nukem. Keeping with the badass theme. Darkstalkers, great fighting game. Contra. Bust-A-Move 4, just a fun puzzle game. And I definitely try to fill up the PSP as much as possible, and that's why you'll see games like Bust-A-Move. Because maybe I don't have enough room left to put a full game like the size of Metal Gear Solid or some of the Resident Evils that are multi-disc games. Why not throw in something fun like the arcade port of Bust-A-Move? Army Men, Air Attack, Ape Escape, really fun game. There's Crash Bandicoot, the other one. Actually, there's 3, but I think there's only 2 of them on here. Buster Brothers. Oh no, here's the first Crash Bandicoot. So I think there's 1, 2, and 3 on here. Star Wars Rebel Assault needed to be on here. Rebel Assault 2, which is a little better than the Sega CD port. Jedi Power Battles is on here. That's important. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I just wouldn't be I'd lose my nerd card if I didn't put that on there. And the Batman Forever game on PSP. It's fun. Throw that on there. And it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's perfect. It's kind of like an arcade style game. Now I throw in some RPGs. So here's Lunar. 1 and 2 are on here. And Dragon Warrior. Ark the Lad, great game. It's like a sequel to the Shining Force series. I highly recommend playing that one for RPGs. We've got Vagrant Story on here. Suikoden. Thank you, Game Dave, another YouTuber that introduced me to Suikoden. Very fun game. Resident Evil Director's Cut. We're going Resident Evil 3. And then here's Resident Evil 2. Those are out of order. I will fix that. Persona on here. It's a mix of kind of survival horror and RPGs in here. Oh, here's Oddworld. Great game. And then I thought I'd throw in a sweet basketball title. Well-rounded. Here's Mortal Kombat 4. All the Mortal Kombats you need. Mega Man X5 animated icons. Some more Mega Man on here. Here's X4. And Mega Man 8. Can't go wrong with the Mega Man games. Gex, a great platformer. Final Fantasy Tactics. And then here's Chrono Trigger. Breath of Fire 3. Marvel vs. Capcom, awesome game. And then Legend of Mana. A game that I spent quite a lot of time getting it to work on the PSP. Which is funny, because I could have played it on my PS1, but It's kind of hard lugging that thing around to, you know, like your doctor's offices and stuff. And they kind of frowned on you hooking up, you know, the AV cables. They tell you no. They say no. All right, now here we jump down to PSP games. These are games that were released on the PSP. And you got to have your Grand Theft Autos, your GTAs. This is all three that came out for the PSP. And yeah, so that's nice. There you go. Here's Force Awakens. Battlefront 1 and 2 on here. We got to keep it dark with Silent Hill Origins. Phantasy Star Portable. Oh, this is, I'm sorry, Undead Knights. A fun game that I have played through multiple times. Here's Ultimate Ghost and Goblins. Twisted Metal. Thrill. Here's Tekken Dark Resurrection. Street Fighter Alpha Max 3. Soul Calibur. Sonic Rivals and Sonic Rivals 2. Really fun Sonic games. Oh shit, that's Silent Hill Origins on here twice. Well, I will make sure to replace that. You get everything running right, and then with all these games, sometimes you wind up with a duplicate. That's okay, though. We'll take that off of there and replace it with something else. Rocky Balboa, a very fun game. Ridge Racer 1 and Ridge Racer 2. Power Stone. Papaton. I can 1 and 2. I can never say it right, so I'm not going to even attempt it. Need for Speed Underground. Need for Speed Carbon. Micro Machines. Doesn't say Micro Machines. It's, well, it's probably something else. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops and Peace Walker. Metal Gear Acid you'll find on here. And Mercury Meltdown. It's a fun game. We still have more games. As insane as that is, still more games. My favorite Pac-Man game that ever came out, Pac-Man Championship Edition. I know that there is a Championship Edition DX that came out for the Android devices. Get out of here with your Android devices, okay? Doesn't work the same, all right? Maverick Hunter X Mega Man game came out for the PSP. And Powered Up is another Mega Man game. Very fun. Marvel Nemesis. Loco Roco. Little Big Planet. You really do have to have Little Big Planet on a PSP. Kingdom Hearts is on there. Jack and Daxter is on there. Infected. 30-Minute Hero, a great fun little RPG. Guilty Gear. I want a grip shift. Grip it, shift it. Oh, man. And, of course, you've got to have the God of Wars on here. And you guys know it's my favorite title on the PSP. Yeah. Ghostbusters. Voiced by the original cast. Harold Ramis. Rest in peace, my friend. A very, very fun game. Did I say voiced by the original cast? I did, and I said it again. Voiced by Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, Sigourney Weaver. They're all part of this game. And here's Frogger. Helmet Chaos, whatever that is. Exit. Pretty fun game. Dynasty Warriors. Check it out. Dead to Rights. Just badass. We have Jack and Daxter now. We just got Daxter. Here's a Castlevania game for PSP. Whew, it just keeps going. Burnout, one of my favorite racing games that came out for the PSP. I love Burnout. There's Bleach. Check that out. Assassin's Creed Bloodlines. Alien Syndrome. Gosh darn it, and Daxter? Okay, so we got 2 games on here. So Silent Hill Origins and Daxter are duplicates. I will handle that swiftly, but I will not film a whole nother video. It's been a lot of work putting this PSP together. But it is done. It's done. Thanks for making the journey with me through this video of my take on the Darth Vader PSP that Sony put out. Was never a fan of a white PSP with only a black Vader decal on the back. I mean, that was it. That's all they gave us. I protest, and decided to put together this 64 gig bad motherfucker, if I can, and I do, say so myself. Check her out. She looks nice. But don't keep her on a shelf. Play her. In all those games, we're talking 8,000 games plus, are all playable on the TV. There's my dog scratching his collar. All playable on the TV in HD with the component cables. Now, you're not going to get the same video quality you get from PS4, but it's pretty nice. And, of course, your USB charging cable, able to be charged with any USB. Your Apple devices, your Android devices. PSP don't care. I don't care. I certainly don't care which devices you have. And, and you get one more important thing. You get one of these audio CDs, and it'll contain all the instructions on there. In case you're curious, wait, how do I get to the games again? And you don't feel like, logging on to the YouTube and watching this video. Like, how did he do that? Like I mentioned, there's all little special things you can do with all the games and the emulators on the systems, like being able to save your exact point. These are all the games in the old school folder for the retro consoles. Save your place. Use the L and R buttons to rewind your place when you're playing NES games. So this is it. And this is just, in my opinion, how the Darth Vader PSP should have been. This is just what they should have done. Why don't they put something like this out? Oh yeah, that's right, because all these different companies can't get together and give you something cool like this. So yeah, that's it. That's all we've got. Guys, thank you for checking out the video. If you want one of these, well, here's the deal. Check on the description down here and click on the link. The link will take you to the eBay auction. And on the eBay auction, you can bid. The starting bid is going to be a little bit lower than I normally charge for a PSP like this. Because, I don't know, Merry Christmas, because that sounded good to me, because I want to give other people a chance to get one of these. So check out that link, And if I said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Game on!
Game on!
Yeah, game on!